Hi, welcome back to Prima, and right now we're going to go over how to create a new case for a contact. Now you can do that in a couple of places. First of all, you can select Create New Case right here on the main screen. Most of the time you're probably going to be in a contact's information already, so let's go to Sheldon Cooper. Let's go to Cases, and here you can see we have a couple cases that have been created already, but let's create a new one. Okay, so here is the practice area. That's always going to be immigration. Gerard Butler is going to be the name of the attorney on the case. Now, if I was a paralegal creating a case for somebody else, you can choose another attorney who has an account here. The name, this is optional, so I'm just going to write in optional. A case type, this is where you can select any of the custom or predefined case types that we've created and included in Prima Facie. So let's begin with let's just begin with the simple I-130 petition for alien relative. We'll click Add. Now it's going to create that case. And when it creates the case, it's going to automatically populate a few things. First of all, we have this tab called Flow. Click here to see, according to the template for the I-130 petition for alien relative, these are the steps that you need to go through in this case. All right, now if something changes in your case or you need to take a detour, you can add one here. These are drag and drop, so you just click it, drag it, and you can move it in whatever stage of the process it needs to go. As you go through the case, you'll click off here to maintain a record of what the last thing was done and when. Okay, if you need to know the date, all you need to do is navigate over to the Notes tab of the page, and it'll tell you when you clicked off the latest item. So for example here, if we look at this more, we finished providing the checklist. The next step is the case interview, and that was on this date. Okay. The other items it's going to populate are the checklist. So we provide some standard checklists that typically you're going to use in an I-130 case. Now, all of these items may not pertain to your case, and that's why you have the option of deleting here. So for example, if the petitioner's an LPR or doesn't have a certificate of naturalization, that's okay, just delete it. And of course, you're going to have to review this with each particular client. No one case is exactly the same, but generally speaking, they're going to have these items: attorney's fees, a filing fee, a copy of a marriage certificate if it's a spousal petition, a couple of passport photos for each, and you'll just check these off as you go through. Now, what you can do, if you like, you can send by email to your client. So if you put an email address in for Sheldon Cooper and you click send by email, it will email him this entire list. And it's going to look like this. It'll show the items in order. The items that have been provided will be crossed off already, and we'll show the date that those are provided. Pending items will not be crossed off. So this is a good way if the client calls and says, hey, I forgot, or I lost my checklist, can you send me another one? Or what am I still missing? You know, if you get some time into the case and they still haven't brought everything yet. So that's populated based on the case type as well, and also the list of forms. These two G28s, 325As, the I-130 and the 1145. These are all forms that we included in the template for this case type, right? And now you'll just choose here who each belongs to. So you have Sheldon will have this G28, Amy will have that G28. On one G325, he goes first and she's second, and then she goes first and he's second. On the I-130, let's make him the petitioner and her the beneficiary. And you can choose someone for the 1145. You can see these flags going off here. This just lets you know that the role's been updated and the form has been auto-filled. That happens automatically when you choose that new person to fill the role. There's other videos about form filling. You can review those, but you can see that it's working here. All right, so let's move on to USCIS receipt numbers. When you get a receipt number in the mail, you can add that information here. We'll select it for the I-130, for example, and we'll just make up a receipt number. Of course, it's not going to work on the government website, but here's how you would do it. Enter the information and click Update Status, Consulting USCIS Servers, and there's no last status because it's not a valid number. You can click here to go to the website itself. This is useful because if the person calls and says, hey, is there anything new on my case? you can go here and just check real quickly and see if there's anything maybe that you didn't receive mail for, if they didn't receive something in the mail, or just haven't arrived yet. You'll also keep track of notes here, keep track of phone calls here, and tasks here. But that's how you create a new case. Now, that's sort of part one of how to create a new case. This next part applies to administrators only, and that is, how do I manage those custom case types? So let's go to the administrator panel. And from here, you'll select the tab for custom case types. Now remember, the only way you're going to be able to see this administrator panel is if you're the administrator on the account. Okay. Obviously, the owner's not going to want a lot of people getting in here and changing stuff about the billing or users or no. This is administrator only. So if you don't have the correct permissions, talk to whoever's in charge of that at your firm. From here, you can create custom case types, right? The standard case types that we include, you cannot modify. However, you can make your own. So for example, let's say you want to make a new case type for the I-130, and you just want to call this I-130 for your law firm, so for Brevoort Law. Okay, we'll click Add. We're going to now edit. Okay, you see it shows up here. I'm going to edit that. Here you can select which forms should always load when you select this case type. So let's select G28. This will be, let's say, for the petitioner. Let's add another G28. This will be for a beneficiary. Click Add. Let's add the I-130. Here you go. And let's add the G325A, one for the petitioner. And let's add the G325A for the beneficiary. And let's say that we do not want the 1145, so we're not going to add it. We can go now to case flow items. Now, you can either add items one at a time, right? So let's say birth certificate. And the priority, let's say it's going to be 10. We'll go in increments of 10 here in case we need to put something in the middle. Right, you can add those one at a time, and that's fine. You can also import the case flow items from a currently existing case. So let's say the standard I-130 petition for alien relative by prima facie. I want to import all the flow items from that because I don't want to do this one at a time. There they are. Okay, so those are added. Let's go to checklist items. You can add those one at a time here, and you just type in what it is and the priority. Or if there's already an existing case that's close to what you like, just import those items from here. And if you wanted to modify any, you can delete them. You can change the priority, the order that they show up in. You can edit what they are. You can add more now. So it's a little bit more of a flexible way of doing this. So let's just delete the marriage certificate copy. Right? When you're done, click Update, and you have your new case type. So let's go back to Sheldon Cooper. Let's create a new case for him. And let's say we want that I-130 for Brevoort Law that we just created. We'll add that. Now it's going to create that case. Let's look at the flow items. There they are. The checklist items, there they are. There's no marriage certificate here because we deleted that. And the forms, there's no 1145 because we didn't add it, but they're all there. So this is a quick way that you can actually speed up your firm's particular workflow, especially if you have some custom checklists that you've been using and you really like. You do all that from the administrator panel, and that's how easy it is.